Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Introvert Social Hour. I am so excited today. You all know I love movies. I like talking about stories, shows, etc., etc. So today we are talking about I Love Boosters, one of the most recent films out right now, and I'm excited to bring on my friend Devarie. Welcome, Devarie, back to the pod.
Hey, hey.
We watched it together about a week ago. Yeah, about a week
Yeah,
ago, a little
Thursday.
less. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we knew we were going to kind of break it down today. Especially, I think we're in a really cool time of Black film. Side note: were you able to watch Is God Is yet or no?
No, I
Okay,
haven't. But
cool,
I
cool.
really want to. I know you're talking about black films, but
Mm.
I seen Obsession recently. Like,
I
dude,
I do want to know your thoughts on that. I'm gonna ask you after because people have been talking about it. I'm not a huge horror person, but I'm curious. So remind me after. Okay,
hmm
cool, cool, cool. But yes, highly recommend Is God Is.
I want to
And
watch it. That is though for sure.
yes, no, it's really good. And for the listeners out there, I did talk about it separately on my YouTube channel, not as a podcast episode. So go check it out there because it is a solid film. But I think this one's also really cool for us to talk about I Love Boosters as someone who we're from the Bay. So having a Bay Area represented director, Boots Riley, do a
Mhm.
film and also represent the Bay in the film was really cool. We got a Hayward shout out.
Oh yeah, she was like, my number is 5'10". I was like,
Right.
come on, that's my number.
Right. Like never changed it. I would like to keep it as long as I don't change it, then we're good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I wanted to get into it because I've already seen it's only been out not even a full well at this point of the podcast releasing, it'll be out for a full week. But so
hmm
many people have so many different ideas. It's not a tradition whatever that looks like to you, that could be in anything, but a traditional film. And it is really out of the box. And so
hmm
I think it'd be really curious. Really good to talk about it. It's one of those films you have to sit on for a minute as well, I think. So I'm curious of what we've sat on. We had our first thoughts.
Well, it's funny because like earlier today, I watched a few videos where like I seen him get interviewed himself on like what was his idea with making the movie creatively, artistically, what was he thinking,
Mhm.
and then I also seen other like podcast reviews where people are like saying how they feel, and I started one and it ended up being a bit negative. Cut that one off because I was like, child, I don't have time. We don't share the same views. Sorry, not sorry. And
Yeah.
then I watched another one for a little bit and I liked what they had to say and I felt like similarly. So, I
Okay.
mean, I've had time to marinate and think a bit more on like the topics I think the movie touched base on and just like, yeah, overall, like how it made me feel and like would I watch it again? All these questions I've been asking myself. So,
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Let's go into it then. So I guess my first question I want to ask is, did you have any expectations going into the movie? Because I think where we kind of differed is I hadn't watched Sorry to Bother You, so I have no previous
yeah.
context of his film style. But I'm curious of if you kind of knew what you're getting into, even watching,
So the
Sorry to Bother
question
You.
is, are you going to watch Sorry ever?
Eventually, I will. Yes. I don't
And
care too intensely about spoilers. That's fine. Yeah.
period. Okay, so sorry to bother you. It's like he's working at this like um telecom like place where like like the people who call you like the spam numbers are like hello
Oh,
sir,
yeah.
he was working at one of those jobs but then he realized that him being black like obviously let me use my white voice but
Mm,
with using his white voice, he kept getting these promotions, which weren't really promotions. So in the corporate world again, capitalism again, obviously.
mm,
Um, and pretty much he gets to where the promotion is and like this CEO person who owns the entire business he's been trying to climb up to get to the top of, now he's there and they're like, yeah, we're about to turn you into a horse. Like,
mm.
so it's that's what Sorry to Bother You is like a bunch of black men being turned, I guess, to horses
Okay.
with extremely like large genitalia. Like just it was like it very out of the box, obviously, but
Yeah.
I mean there's a bit of out of the boxness from I Love Boosters as well. So I think I knew it would there was going to be like out of this world type of like content that we would be diving into, and like a world with a lot of like imagination, or like it could be random. I don't
Mm.
know. At least for me, it gave me hints and notes of like, I mean, I Love Boosters gave me hints and notes of like Sorry to Bother You, but also Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's a lot of surrealism to it, like with the art, the color, the visuals. I
Hmm.
also learned that he filmed it with a specific camera to make sure it really popped specifically in the theaters, which that was cool. Like he didn't use the camera that most films use, where
Yeah.
maybe certain parts are getting cut off, like you have the border on the top, the border on the bottom. Like no, he was like, you're gonna get this like real surround like video where you could watch on the big screen the entire time and be enamored and be enthralled in it the entire time.
That's a good know. I like so I didn't even know he did a specific camera, so that's nice to know. Because the colors do really pop actually. Like it's a very like visually appealing film. When you've got like this bright yellow and you've got these pinks and this like lime green and somehow like all the like bright blue
Um,
and all of it works.
the monochrome of it all was just crazy because even the stores, like how they would switch up, like I don't know if it was every month, I forget, but they'd have one color for each like
Kind of like
drop.
season,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that was interesting too, and how they like switched them around. And in a way, it kind of also reflected like the absurdity of like fashion, like high fashion in a way too. Which I know he kind of course, the movie is about fashion, but also
Mhm.
there's like so many deeper layers, and we're gonna get to because you think it's just a fashion movie, and then it turns into.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie. To shortly answer your question, didn't I wasn't going into it expecting anything but that there was gonna be this big imaginative world. Like there was gonna be futuristic like
Mhm.
elements to it where it's like that would never happen in real life, but I think it's still a nice touch for sure. So I knew
Mhm.
that's the only thing I expected really. But
Mhm.
storyline wise, like obviously I know they're stealing, but yeah, I'd say I didn't know it was going to take us where it took us, but I'm not mad either.
Yeah, I'm curious. What were some things that shocked you? Because for me, there was definitely a lot of shocking factors.
Dude,
Yes.
the sex demon, which he was in Sorry to Bother You. So
Yes.
that I think that was interesting, keeping an actor that you've already worked with, who was the main character in your first movie, and then
Hmm.
now you can get for this. I
Hmm.
also forget. Did he not do a show too? Sorry, this is off topic.
No, you're
Uh,
good. But he did
he
do a show, Boots
something
Riley.
like Virgo.
Yes, yes.
I
Hmm.
think all of his stuff is always something kooky. Because even that show, like, isn't that guy like giant or like super big? Like,
Literally, this is my first experience with Boots Riley, so I never watched the show.
you maybe dip into that too, perhaps. But
Mhm. But I
no,
did, yes, he is a giant. I do recall seeing. Mhm.
the sex demon that was crazy. Because why is the love interest, quote unquote love interest? Because like it's giving stalker vibes, but period. Like but
Mhm.
she's kind of in love with him anyway. And
Mhm.
then to find out that yeah, whenever he performs oral sex on a man or a woman, like he sucks their
Sucks a
soul.
soul.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, oh wow.
No, I needed that, but also not bad. Like, period.
Right.
Like, the kookiness of it. So that definitely surprised me.
Mm.
Obviously, the little machine thing, I forget what they called it in the movie,
It's like a
but
transportation device. Yeah.
transmitter, whatever, that
Hmm.
was obviously like oh, that
Sci-fi
added a new
twist.
element to it, yeah.
Hmm.
Even like Demi Moore's character, her apartment, like it being slanted.
The
That
offices.
was
Yeah.
like, okay, that was also something that had me like, hmm.
I actually loved to add on to that when Kiki's trying to get out. and like she's kind of doing this. That was like a little fun moment.
A nice little like cartoon like
Hmm.
moment, funny
Hmm.
comical moment. Yeah.
Hmm.
One of the things he said in one of his interviews was that he wanted to make a movie like, I guess, older generation movies that used to be in the movie theater, like back in the day, that were on a roller coaster, or like something where you're constantly wanting to watch and continue watching it. So I thought
Yeah.
that was cool, that he really kept that in mind the entire process of him creating it.
And I definitely see that in those like silly moments. They definitely give kind of like throwback, very
Mm-hmm.
much like black and white film kind of silliness vibes of it all. To go back to the Keith Stanfield's character, I think he was officially like titled like Pinky Ring Guy is like the name they gave him. I did see the original thought I did have, and I see that other people had agreed with as well. Him being like a demon and sucking the soul out of people he was with. I did see that as kind of like a reflection of like men that maybe not be the best for you, but also taking things from you. I feel like that was kind of his idea of like she knew he was not good for her, but somehow was still attracted to him and had a pull towards him, even though she knew what he was capable of doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the messaging I saw with that character, which I was like, okay, I see that.
I
Men
think
are demons, is what he's trying to say.
that overall, like, underlying subliminal, like, little, like, yes, he's a demon,
Hmm.
which we're seeing, but also it's like he could have not been a demon, but still been a demon. Ah!
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I definitely would say that part was definitely shocking. I feel like a lot of I wasn't expecting, I knew it was rated R, of course, but I think for me, like a lot of the sexual scenes, for me, when I see like a sexual scene, I'm like, okay, but why is it here? I always try to question, like, is there a purpose to it? Other than, just wanting it to be there. I would say the parent one where, what's her name? I think I have her here. But Mariah, the friend played by Taylor Page, when they like deconstruct her with the machine, and then all of a sudden her parents are going at it on the floor, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, like it made sense to me. I don't know about you. In
Mhm.
showing us what the machine does, like it
I,
showed. Oh, it's showing us how Miss Girl was made, and that's how Miss Girl.
mhm.
Like,
Yeah, no,
but
the basics of it makes sense, of course. I definitely think I get curious of things like that where I'm like, I always debate like, was it necessary or was it just wanted kind of thing. But for me, I was like, okay, I get the basics of it, so I can give you that. But for sure, I was like, huh, okay. I would say the one shocking factor outside of that, when they turned into skins, when the suits were actually skins.
like that, the skin suits, the $100,000 skin suits,
Mm-hmm.
people that's disguised as these commercial like characters that the whole world sees and knows to be trying to influence them to continue buying into the products.
And being like anti-work,
Uh,
yeah. And so, or not anti-work, but anti like basically
you,
pro work, anti kind of anti union, anti anything.
I want you to wake up and see that we playing young. Hey, like I like
Mhm.
to, pay more rent, and I like to
Exactly, literally.
pay more rent. That
Right.
was a shocking moment. Like them
Mhm.
just dipping the suit. Like I was like, oh, now it's turning into what's that one movie? Freak. Beetlejuice or something. You know what I mean? Like just like the way the faces looked, like me some of the monsters from like, I don't know, like it gave me those
No, I
vibes.
get
Like
you. Something more like actually like kind of like Halloween horror based kind of vibes ish. Yeah, kind of. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Um, no, I thought it was really interesting too because it was like, oh, she's a part of it. Like Christy, played by Demi Moore, like, oh, she's helping with all of this, like pro corporate world, pro company, like anti people.
yeah, she said, girl, we gonna make sure I stay on top.
Mm-hmm. And that everybody's gonna understand or like lead, kind of continue the way I've led. And I
Mhm.
thought that was pretty wild, where it's like, okay, so she's chosen a black woman. okay, she's chosen a black man as a suit, and like interesting how that plays a role in things. Side note, Kara Young is on a roll, by the way. She plays the crying black mother, but she's also in Is God Is. I'm so excited for you. It's like she's like back to
I
back movies right now, so it's been really cool.
wait to see it.
Yeah, but no, like they all did such a solid job because it was like we watch it as viewers were like, this is absolutely ridiculous. But when you think about it though, like there's people out there who would defend a corporate, company, who would be like, yeah, so they don't pay their workers. It's like
There
we
is
should
a lot of that. There's a whole lot of that. There's a
yeah.
lot of people on social media
Hmm.
saying the most craziest things.
Yeah.
And
So
like corporations that are clearly in the wrong and
mhm,
clearly, benefiting off of the demise of others. But
mhm.
yeah, like
Yeah. But it gave really good messaging at the end. It was like people got to come together. Yeah. Which is easier said than done. But when you're in such a system, but yeah, I thought that was good. But yeah, I would say the skins was a shocking moment. I really did not expect to see them moving around.
I mean, it already turned into like some weird psycho futuristic thing with the time machine transmitter thing. And then
Hmm.
now the suits are skin suits. I'm like, what's next? We got a sex demon? I'm like, period.
I check.
We
Check.
just all in there. What's about to happen now?
Right. Let's go into the first part, though, the first section of the movie. I want to talk about when Robin Thede comes in as a cameo,
Mhm.
and when Homegirl she holds her breath, she comes back up, and she ends up being a light skinned woman in order to try to steal into the shops.
I think it's almost a bit of a nod to Sorry to Bother You. Like I said, the
Ooh, okay.
it's them working at this working at this communications company where they're just doing
Hmm.
customer service, talking to people, and all the black people start realizing we're going to get more sales and actually getting people to buy this product if we use our white voices. And
Hmm.
so, in a way, I think it was kind of a nod to that. Like he wanted to sprinkle like a little breadcrumb or like what do they call a golden egg in there, maybe of like, oh, maybe if you seem sorry to bother you,
Yeah.
bow. Here's a nod to that in another weird kooky way instead of
Mhm.
it just being you could turn it on like she's like I'm not going to talk but I could like transform into a
Mhm.
lighter skinned version of myself, which I also just think that was hilarious that it was just a lighter skin version. Like I'm like, girl, you already pretty light, like brown skin, like you're on the lighter complexion side, like
Mhm.
you not dark, girl.
Mhm.
So how much lighter can you go? Like I already knew it was going to be a flop unless she was about to go all the way white, girl. It depends on what type of light skin black
Mhm.
girl you're giving. But yeah, that was a cute and funny moment. I would say yeah, that was a nice little touch. Like I thought that
Mhm.
was a nice comical moment. Like
Mhm.
there was a lot of that, like in the movie. Like
Yeah.
it was clever and cute, and like, oh, okay, you ate that.
Definitely unexpected because I was like, when they were like, oh, I have a trick up my sleeve kind of thing. It's like, what is it? And then Robin Thede pops up, and I was like, first of all, I love Robin Thede, but also I was like, that moment of understanding where it's like, kind of in opposition, not in opposition, but similarly, like you said, in
Mhm.
relation to Sorry to Bother You, it's like, okay, I could do this well with a white person's voice, but I can also probably do a little bit better with like being a lighter skin tone, as you said though, and that was a really good nod as well of like being like, when Kiki Palmer's character was like, oh, they treating her like she's still, like a full black woman or something like that, whatever she said.
Girl,
Um,
you a few shades lighter, and you still get the same treatment.
yeah. They're like, "Hey, ma'am, are you okay?" Like, yeah. So I think that was really good because that is something that's also considered too, where it's like, oh, I can get away with certain things because I am a certain complexion, which is something people have also considered and stated, which is interesting. But he's literally hitting topics that are kind of like, oh,
Like different, little subgenres. He
hmm,
said, think about this and think about that. And
yeah, he threw a lot at us for sure. And I'm curious because I also know you've heard other people's opinions now at this point. Some people think that it was too much. Where do you kind of
Yeah,
land?
that was the podcast I told you I turned off.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was like, he just had a bunch of ideas and put them in there. Like, I don't think it was a bunch of ideas or like saying that they felt like there was no storyline.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like we got it, right? You got it, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, like Cassandra, which I
Mhm.
learned is his daughter's name, his real daughter's name. And
Mhm.
apparently, um, I think he has a song or his daughter has a song called I Love Boosters. So that's also sort of kind of where the movie comes from as well. And I
Gotcha.
think Keke Palmer also drew inspiration from like the music that they made in that song I Love Boosters to try to incorporate it in some of the songs she made like for the movie. So I
Yeah.
thought that was cool as well.
Mhm.
But wait, I lost my train of thought.
I was gonna. The question is basically like, do you feel like it was too much, or how do you feel about all the different topics he
I
covered?
definitely feel like I disagree. Like I I feel like it's a cute, feel good movie, and I think at least to me it was clear. Like I said, the story is about Cassandra, aka Corvette,
Mhm.
aka what was her name that she told Demi Moore Quavos Quavos.
I know what you're. Yeah, but I can't. I know. Yeah, Quavasanet and something like
Sierra,
something
what
like that. Yeah.
but
Hmm.
yeah, she's obviously an aspiring like fashion designer.
Hmm.
You know, like that's something she wants to do actually rather than her being boosting. But like, she got to make money somehow too. So she's doing that. But then yeah, obviously her goal is to just make money and somehow become
Get
what
by.
more is if she gets lucky. And
Mhm.
then in the midst of all that and to have someone you're kind of looking up to, and then to find out they stole your shit and that they're just a
Yeah.
piece of shit at the end of the day that's stealing and just regenerating the same things
Mm.
that they're seeing and just taking from people in poverty, stealing ideas from them, and then creating stuff that they can't even afford. So they can't even buy their shit back. Like that's actually ridiculous. And
Mm.
so then it became clear that goal here now is kind of get back at Demi, power to the people, whatever. Like everybody has their own different reasons why, they're enemies of Demi because at the end of the day, she's the CEO of this whole corporation. And like all of the negatives that come with it, whether it's from like, out the country and people you have working in this factory that are dying from health issues due to the work environment, but also not being paid enough to like actually make a living. You have that big, grander scheme of things to the nitty gritty of the actual workers working in the actual like shops and stores that
Yeah.
also are not getting paid enough and they're, wanting to unionize and fight for better wages. Like it's clear what the story is. So I'm confused why people are having issues. Yes, is there some kookiness here and there? Yeah, but I just think that's his stylistic way of creating and like
Mm.
he likes it to be imaginative. It's real world issues and real world problems, but the movie isn't just going to be real world. It's going to be beyond that as well. And I don't see the issue with
Yeah.
that, especially like I could understand if something just completely random was in there and it didn't make sense, but everything that happened had some type of like through line and you could figure out what it means to you or there's some type of like consensus that we all like understand what's being depicted on the screen like this is real life shit like but
Yeah.
this is cute and fun, haha. And
Covered
also
it. Yeah.
real place too, but just a futuristic version of the Bay Area. I wasn't mad at it. I'm like, this is cute. This is not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think I kind of already the minute what you see already, it's very much giving. Even with the trailer, it's like this is a movie that may not be for everybody. And then when you're sitting there, you're already like, oh yeah, this is definitely, some people are going to walk out and be super confused. I also just like think that his movies, from what I can tell so far, or his concepts and his ideas. So whenever I do watch Sorry to Bother You and his television show, it's like, oh, you're not going to get it unless you get it. Like you got to be here. You got to get it. And if
Well,
that's not if you're not there.
you def probably will understand and get I Love Boosters better than Sorry to Bother You. Like I
Mm.
would say that. Like I feel
Mm.
like this second movie, and I'm not even coming for Sorry to Bother You. Like I'm not mad at Sorry to Bother You, but
Mm.
sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I Love Boosters is better. So when you
Got you.
do watch it, maybe we'll talk and you'll see like what I mean. But
Mm.
yeah, like I felt like I Love Boosters. I understood what the hell was going on from top to finish.
Mm.
Now, Sorry to Bother You. At some point, I was like, now what the heck? Like, I kind of got where it was going. Okay, what lengths will you really take it? How far are you really willing to go type to
Mm.
make money and get out of a impoverished situation?
Mm.
It's like a similar thing to I Love Boosters, but just a bit different. Like, like
Yeah.
he's not stealing. He's actually working under the corporation and kind of feeling like he's climbing and getting somewhere and then having a girlfriend who's like a huge activist and going against working at the place because all the workers there are realizing that this is a Ponzi scheme. They're like, bitch, like, we're not going to get anywhere. And he's thinking he's actually getting somewhere. Just a boom, get turned into a fucking horse. But that one, I Love Boosters makes sense. I'm like, I see it. It all, comes
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
So
Good to know then. Okay.
it's interesting because I've seen a few videos on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen some of these videos, but of like older Black generations like coming out from
Oh
watching.
Lord. Yeah.
I see this one video, and it's just so funny because they basically were like, I give that a 0. What I give it under 0, -0. They're like, we don't know what the hell we watch. They're like,
Yeah.
and it's everyone in the comments just being like, yeah, this is definitely maybe not a movie for them older Black generations because yeah, it's just gonna go over your head because all you gonna be sitting there thinking is, what the hell is going on in this movie? No, let's look at what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's being said underneath?
but don't care about the sex demon. Look at what the hell is happening. Like,
I think I saw the same video you saw, and my immediate thought was, now why did she take her parents to see
like,
that?
this video. No, actually, a friend of mine sent it to me because she was asking me how I felt about I Love Boosters,
Mhm.
and I was like, I liked it like a lot, and then she sent me the video, and then it's just funny because in the comments they're like just saying how I don't really think the elders like the artistic direction of like surrealism, saying like how they missed the entire message of the movie. And just, yeah, like someone says in a world where slapstick comedies like Zoolander and Austin Powers exist, I Love Booster should thrive. Everyone should give it a try, though. It's made for the US. I like how they brought up like Austin Powers. Like, I'm like, yeah, like it's a movie about some real shit, but it's not giving you in a traditional way or like
Yeah.
how it fully looked like. And I think that makes sense. That's how you make your art like that. Like at the end of the day, filmmaking is also an art form, and like
100%.
he's bringing you into his world, but also bringing you into the real world and being like, look at what's actually be happening, but in a cute, funny, haha way. Like,
Yeah. No,
and we're all at once out of this universe, utopian, dystopian, psycho, futuristic, whatever you want to call it, way.
all the
Like it's
things.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I saw a tweet that perfectly kind of like was connected to the ideas that I had after like while watching the film was like I just finished watching I Love Boosters and came to the conclusion I'm not creative enough. And I was like, yeah, cuz I remember sitting there being like, while the movie is like, you know, so everywhere, you can't say that it for me it didn't not make sense like we were talking about. Like it still made sense. So for me I'm like, how did his brain think of that to connect that together? Or how did his brain think of that to connect that together?
Yeah.
And how did he think visually this is what he wanted? Because not only is it a beautiful movie colorful wise, the scenic design is really cool. His director choices are really cool. There's a scene where Kiki as Corvette, she's put in the back of the car and they throw all those piles of clothes on her, and then she's like going
Yeah,
through.
I,
Yeah, that transition and that scene was really cool to me. And so just like I was just thinking about all these things, like what, like oh my gosh, when your mind thinks about that stuff, I was like, so for me, I'm as a first time watcher of his work, while it was like kind of like oh my gosh, whoa, like this is not what I expected, because I didn't necessarily have a expectation. I knew his previous works, but I didn't have the expectation because I hadn't watched them. I was just like, whoa, it's out of the box, but it's also really creative. Like, I like watching new ideas because we're especially in a time of reboots and remakes and same old. It's like, give me something different. Show me what your mind can do, outside of what we've already seen. Or like, even if it's not a remake necessarily, we're still getting a similar concept of a story that's maybe already been done, but you kind of changing it up just a little bit, and things like that. So to watch something and be like, whoa, this is different was really nice.
so, yeah, like,
Hmm.
would you want everything to be the same? Or
Yeah.
same or and then the girls who don't get it, it's like, well, why don't we get it?
Mm.
Like you should be able to watch stuff and be able to use your, cognitive thinking skills, critical thinking skills, like all
Mhm.
of the stuff to
Connect
figure
some
out.
dots.
Yeah, like it shouldn't have to be spoon fed. Not even that I think this is the opposite of being spoon fed, because it's not like it's all the way at the end of that spectrum where it's like, oh,
Hmm.
you really had to do some like,
Yeah.
thinking and introspection and just all this. Like, no, like
Hmm.
all you literally had to do was go on the journey and be there with it and
Hmm.
be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
and not question and just because everything, yeah, made sense
It
to me.
definitely, yeah. I will say there were definitely some underlying things I definitely looked at. But I think what's important is to understand that there are underlying things there. I think when people watch something and all of a sudden they're just like, well, I didn't get it. And like you said, spoon fed. It's like, well, maybe think like there probably is something there. At least understand that there's something there that maybe you couldn't connect, but at least it's there. So like for example, for me, I the ball that Corvette is seeing with, it starts off
That
really large and it's rolling, kind of destroying things in its path, and eventually it becomes a small thing that she's no longer worried about and she has control over. For me, I was like, okay, but what is, I understand that concept, but what does that entire ball really mean for her exactly, as a whole? And so then I looked at it and I even read some stuff too, and I was like, that does make sense. Like we talked about earlier, her struggling and just trying to get by, her anxieties, her worries about bills, and just like the struggle of life in general. Like that was all of her stressors, and eventually,
yeah, and that
hmm
it manifested. It's cool how he creatively came up with that concept of, I don't know if it's like the I forget what they call it when you
something
use
with
like,
a K. I had it. It was like a
yeah,
something
yeah,
gory, something like that. Yeah.
but yeah, that's such a cool way to like let the audience understand Corvette more and understand that these struggles just continue to be more bigger than life itself. It seems like to her, like, or like it, like the physicalness of the ball and like how
Hmm.
it showed up in the scenes. Like it's like, okay, got it. Obviously, that's overbearing. Obviously, something she
Hmm.
can't control, that it keeps getting bigger, things keep getting added on to it. And
Yeah.
it's also something super relatable, I'm sure, that a lot of people maybe physically feel that way, even though, it's not a physical thing, but like you could feel, you know.
Its presence or hear it coming. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but like even it provides a certain tension. Even so, like I appreciated him making it a physical object,
Mhm.
excuse me, and I also think it's cool because you can even think of that in your current life. It's like, how do I make this ball smaller? you know so I definitely like that. So I just hope that people come in with open minds, and you're allowed to definitely not like it but at least understand it. I think for me, um that's my general take. It's like if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Like movies, you're gonna watch a movie that I'm gonna think is fantastic, and you might be like, or vice versa. There's definitely the same thing for music and all the other things. Like everything is allowed for opinion. But I always just say like, okay, but did you think about it though? Did you think about it first before you put an opinion? Because I think that is what I'm seeing right now. Kind of like what you said. It's like it's immediately no. Like, wait, did you think about it though? That's all.
I think if the movie got a message, it eats. And also the movie don't gotta have a message and it could eat.
Yeah, it
But
can have beautiful messaging just visually sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I will say no, this movie has a message and it's
Mhm.
just cute, it's funny, it's relatable, it's cultural.
Hmm. All the
Like
above.
I'm sure a lot of people from the Bay, like hopefully they're able to go watch it, girl, because that's cute. Like seeing any movie like about where you grew up or where you're from, or
Hmm.
that you know what it actually gives because you've experienced it, and then to be able to go see it and
Yeah.
on the big screen, that's cute. That already eats. That's already a win.
Hmm.
Whoever didn't boosted before or knows boosters are like you, if you know the slang and you know the term, you already have an in over other people because I'm sure it's a bunch of people that's going over their head. They didn't know that they was about to be watching a movie about girls in clothes and like reselling them because they
Hmm.
didn't know what the fuck boosters meant. Like you know what I mean? So like
Yeah. No, to be fair.
it was on the map
Hmm.
and shining light on a culture, a people, an experience, a history,
Hmm.
and it's shedding light on real life problems that are currently happening that we're dealing with now that we've dealt with in the past. Like,
Long standing ones. Yeah.
fuck,
Hmm.
fuck it. So,
Yeah. No, that's really true. Do you think this movie has longevity? Do you think it's something that people will be like look back on? Yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
this is cute. I
Hmm.
think, for one, I'm obviously gonna say he's probably not done making movies, or at
No.
least I would hope. Like, okay, you
Yeah.
got Father, you got I Love Boosters, and keep having them elevate even more and more. Like,
Hmm.
hopefully, like do your thing, Boots Riley. Period. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think as he builds his discography, just that alone, if
Mhm.
someone gets into any of his movies, then maybe they might want to watch the rest and the show too, or But then also, yeah, like I said, I don't think this is in the realm or genre of Everything Everywhere All at Once, but just the the imaginative aspect of it and the creativity surrounding it all and the possibilities that are never ending.
Mhm.
I definitely think that's not going anywhere. And if anything, this is just going to inspire other filmmakers who maybe, have similar tastes in making films or like
Yeah.
similar viewpoints on how to creatively like have an audience take something in. I don't think this is going to be the first. It's not the first for one, and it's dang sure not going to be
Not
the
the
last.
last.
So,
Hmm. No.
so yeah, I think it has a lot of longevity.
Hmm.
I think I think it'll do well. Like, I'm sure it'll be on streaming services maybe after it's out the theater. It's
Hmm.
probably get more money from that as well too. Like the girlies just gonna be watching it at home. Like, hold on, like
For sure.
memes from it. Like,
Okay.
also thinking, what's the movie with Kiki Palmer and SZA?
Oh my gosh, with Issa
You
Rae,
know,
she's
it's
just
not giving the like
my brain.
same response in a way where like it gave everyone really did for the most part like the movie and thought it was fun and cute and liked it.
Hmm. One
Um,
of them days, by the way. Yeah.
one of them did. Like I feel like not the same genre, but
Hmm.
it's like that's what I'm getting. Like when I'm thinking of I Love
Hmm.
Boosters, it's a fusion of One of Them Days, Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's giving Sorry to Bother You. Like yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm. No.
Just the aesthetic of it is cute. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
it was did wonderfully, and it was funny,
Mhm.
and it was wholesome here and there. I think all the actors in it
Did a
ate it
great
up.
job. Mhm.
Yes, I liked all the characters.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I do think especially people are going to look back at the film also just like from a director standpoint and be like, "Nah, check this out." As well as a writer standpoint because the way he was able to put that page to screen, like it could
Hmm.
have looked any kind of way, but the way he made it also look is really important. People are going to look back at that like even any shots or different like you can pull from the film and be like, "Oh, that's like a pretty a pretty
Hmm.
image." So I think they
Like I,
did really well.
the little film classes, college classes, they could be taking like, so your assignment this week, watch I Love Boosters, and then
Hmm.
we're gonna talk about the mise en scène and everything.
Yeah, I definitely see that that's where it goes as well. So yeah, it's definitely one of those films people are gonna look back on. Um, to wrap it up, what would you rate the film? I have a hard time when it's like out of 5 stars because that's a little bit tougher. So I'll do out of 10 if there's out of doesn't have to be 10 stars, but just out of 10.
And I'm gonna give it like a 7.58.
Okay, I love the specifics. That's hilarious.
A
Uh,
7.58. Like,
7.58.
definitely leaning 8. I feel like more so 8 than 7.5.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay,
I
7.58.
think one of my favorite movies is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hmm.
And that's 10.
Okay. Okay. Listen, Oscar award winning, So, yeah. Um I would say I would do a 7. I was just going to do a flat number if I have no decimals. But yeah. Yeah, I was going to do a 7. But yeah, that's what I would rate it. But to the listeners out there, if you haven't watched I Love Boosters, highly suggest checking it out. At the point of the podcast dropping, it should still be in theaters, but the way that movies are rolling these days, it may not be there long. So just take the opportunity while you can, or if you're waiting for it to be there when you're at home in the comfort of your own home, that's perfectly fine too. But just know it all counts. Everything counts when it comes to ticket sales and stuff as well. And I know it's also hard to find certain screenings the way that movies are running right now. But you've heard our comments on it, so you kind of already got spoilers if you haven't watched it. But
I already watched it.
yes, hopefully you already watched it. But I would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to drop them in the comments as well on your ideas and your thoughts on the film, and what takes you got from it. We didn't really go into every single theme, but would love to know that as well. But thank you again, Devarie, for hopping on today
Yeah, I
talking about the
appreciate
podcast.
you for having me on again.
Yes, of course. Make sure y'all check out Zavarie in the description of this episode. All the information will be there. Make sure you are following me at the Introvert Social Hour on all things YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
Mhm.
Get some sunshine, get some air, have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week on the Introvert Social Hour. Bye.
Bye.